Hey, it's Jamie Moore here. We're looking forward to a massive weekend in the FAI Cup this coming Friday and Sunday. The FAI Cup semi-finals taking place Friday night at Oriel Park at Dundalk against UCD. Then on Sunday, can't wait to be at Dalymount. It's going to be sold out for Bohemians against Cork City. Very happy to welcome Bohs, Ian Morris, to the podcast. Ian, hello, how are you?
I'm very well, how are you?
Good, thanks Ian. Just chatting off air there. 9 wins in a row for the Bohs, including that most recent 3-1 win at Richmond Park on Saturday in the league. Into the FAI Cup semi-finals. Things are very good in the black and red at the moment.
Yeah, we're going really well. We've really started to click together and put results down where earlier in the season I think performances were happening but results weren't coming, and thankfully at the right end of the season it's all clicking for us.
What's the reason for the upturn in form? Because it's been so good. You're the informed team in the country at the moment.
Not sure. Like, we've had a settled side. I think the backlog of games at the start of the season was difficult for us with the amount we were playing and the lads going to work and then trying to recover, and we weren't actually working on anything and trying, and you're more or less trying to manage bodies than anything. And going Friday to Friday now, we've really just hit a purple patch and we're going well, and we're able to put into practice what we're learning out on the training pitch into games, and it's paying dividends for us.
Yeah, I know. Spoke to your assistant coach Trevor probably a number of weeks ago, and he was just saying that he wanted to be able to work with you guys on the training pitch week to week, but because you had so many games, that was impossible. And since that's happened and everybody's been back fit and available, it's worked really well. Yeah,
definitely. I think that the proof is in the pudding, and it's certainly something that could be looked at for next season to see the standard and the quality of the games towards the end of the season to the start of the season. I think is like chalk and cheese, and it's, for us, it's been exceptional.
Yeah, the most recent win, as I mentioned, on Saturday at Richmond Park. I know Keith Long, the manager, made 11 changes. He played a lot of young players. Ali Regba makes his debut at 18 years of age, scores twice. A really, really good performance from him. All you guys, the senior pros, watched the game with the Bohs away fans, which I thought was really cool, and a really good league win to make it 9 wins in a row and just keep up that momentum, I suppose, heading into this Cup semi-final.
Yeah, like I said it before, I'd done an interview, I think, after the Cork game, and I was just talking about the competitiveness in training, and so some of the 11v11 games out there have been unbelievable, like the standard, the quality, and no matter what way you move the teams about, it's constantly intense, and you're constantly up against a player who you're both pushing, and that showed in spades on Saturday. The gaffer having the confidence to put in the younger players and put in lads who hadn't started maybe in the last 6-7 weeks, and the lads went out and performed the way we all know they could. There seems to be a big shock around saying the young boys are put out and this was put out, but there was no question behind the scenes with us or with the manager or with the players that played that they were going to go out and do a job and get the result. Yeah,
you're also head of youth development here, so you oversee the under-19s, under-17s, under-15s as well, so you must have been a very proud man standing in the crowd watching some of those younger ones, even though they are your teammates as well, the likes of Andy Lyons and Paddy Kirk and Ryan Graydon and Ali Regba, to name just 4 who you kind of work with the underage teams, and they also train with you with the first team, and we're playing with the first team a lot this season.
Yeah, I was saying during the week there, it's a very different feeling winning as a player to winning as a coach, and it was immensely the proud feeling. It's a different kind of feeling you get in your stomach watching the lads actually perform when I'm not involved or playing with them. So no, it was very good, and it's just going from strength to strength. I think what we've been putting, this hasn't just happened overnight either. Like, this has been coming in the pipeline years. That the 17s obviously won the 17 section. I think if they don't win or if they don't lose at the weekend, they go unbeaten for the whole year, which is phenomenal. Jimmy and Huey and Paul have done very, very well there. Jer with the 15s has been flying. So, and then the schoolboy section, like the players coming through, St Kevin's has been phenomenal. You see the players that made the debut at the weekend, the likes of Grado and Hamo, and lads who have played for Kevin's as youngers, they're coming into the first team. So all that is tying together really well, and working hard behind the scenes to make sure that continues for years down the line.
Yeah, I watched your under-15s as well. They played Shamrock Rovers twice recently, won both games 1-0, and they were real grudge matches, if that is the right word, that age group. You mentioned the 17s, the 19s won the cup. They're also into the last 8 at the quarterfinals in their league as well. And a lot of them have been playing in the first team. Bohs are doing great stuff off the pitch. Crowds at Dalymount have been good. It's a good time to be involved with the club at the moment, isn't it?
Very good, very good. And like I said, the groundwork was done years ago, and we're only continuing it and pushing it on. And hopefully this is going to be the start to us really kicking on and challenging over the next coming years. So it's been very tiring, but you're seeing everything come to fruition now, which is the most important.
Is this your 3rd season at Bohs or 2nd?
This will be my
Okay, so you came home from Scotland, you signed here as a player originally, and you've now become, on the coaching staff as well. Could you see the early stages of what was happening then? Because you said it's been a plan that's been happening over the last coming years, but it just seems in the last number of months to have really kind of come together well.
Yeah, like when we came in, the 17s obviously had the players like Steve Nolan and Grado and that coming through, and Jimmy's brought them through from the 17s into the 19s, and then you take over the 19s, and now they've gone into the first team. So like that pathway has been there, and it's proven that it works. So it's a lot of the hard work was done before I was here. It's continued while I was here, and the effort of the coaching and people behind the scenes and the board and the volunteers has just been extraordinary.
Tell me about the role of Keith Long, the manager, and since you've been at the club, I think it's Trevor Crowley's second season as well. Yeah. Takes a lot of the coaching, and they seem to be a great duo. There was a great photo of the two of them giving each other a hug in Richmond when I think the third goal went in the other day as well. They seem to have a really good working relationship that clearly helps the first team, which is the main aim of the club, of course.
Yeah, definitely, and I don't think Keith Long's role in what's happening at the club now can be underestimated. Since I spoke to him before I joined the club to when I joined the club, he thinks long term, and he's always planning 2, 3, 4 steps ahead. So it's no coincidence to where the club is now to where he came in. He's put a lot of things in place. He's implemented them. He's brought the right people to the club. People might have been nervous about Keith bringing Trev in and thinking, that's recipe for disaster. But it just shows the confidence and what he believes in people, and that's the same goes for players, that he brings players in, sees what they can deliver, and the players buy into it, and it's up there definitely with the best 2 dressing rooms I've been in, if not the best. There's no hiding place in there. There's no cliques. It's just everyone gets on with their job, and if you're not doing it, you'll be told very quickly, and I think that's really important, that it's a good place off the pitch as well as on it. And
of course those jobs were done in midweek in Derry in the Brandywell, or I'm not sure it has been renamed yet, but it's certainly going to be named the new Ryan McBride Brandywell, which is great as well. 3-1 win against Derry, lashing rain, huge away support down at the other end. There was a great video posted of you guys with the fans at the end. Tell us about that win in the FAI Cup quarter-final. Long trip on the Wednesday, and I went overnight to get through to host Cork on Sunday, of course.
Yeah, that was it's actually been quite strange, because the last couple of league games, we've had Cork and Derry, and then the quarterfinals, obviously we had Derry, and the semi-finals we have Cork. So it's playing in the league before you play in the cup. Kind of teams, you're looking at them, and are they going to line up different? So it was interesting to see the different tactics they approached in the second game, and we knew that with what's going on up there, they weren't going to just lie down and take things for granted. So going into the game, we prepared really well. We knew it was going to be a tough test. Conditions were tough, but I think even us looking at the fans and the travelling support, that just inspires you even more. The noise of the fans, the way they reacted during the goals, and the way they reacted at the end of the game, and that's not just with the wins we've had. We've been beaten earlier on the season, that you're getting a standing ovation walking off the pitch, and you're kind of going, I haven't had this happen to me before, and that just brings everyone in the club closer together, players and staff, and it's a special place to be.
What's your memories of the last time Cork City visited Dalymount just a couple of weeks ago in the league? I was in the UCD Bowl watching UCD playing, and there was actually a couple of the Dundalk first team players there, and I could see them amazed on live score every time you guys scored, to be that far up at half time. I'm sure you didn't expect that, but given the confidence in the group, you weren't surprised to win that match. No, not at all. I think the mistakes, obviously, I think people take away from how well we actually played on the night as well. We really added that night. We created a lot of chances. It could have been even more, and obviously mistakes help you, and it knocks them a little bit, but by no means are we going to use that as a benchmark for Sunday. Cork obviously being beaten by Dundalk there in the last game. There's nothing worse than a wounded animal, and we certainly will be preparing properly. We won't be taking anything for granted. The last 9 games mean absolutely zero going into any cup game, never mind a cup semi-final. So this is going to be treated as if we're really we're fighting for our lives, and we really want to get to the Aviva. Of course, home advantage can be huge. Dalymount will be packed. There's been great crowds there all year, but I'm sure if you could fill the old stand that isn't open anymore, you probably would. It's going to be a really, really nice place for Bohs to play football on Sunday. I can't wait to be there myself. Really looking forward to a big game at Dalymount, because that place has hosted so many huge matches. It's called the home of football, and it'll be a great venue hopefully for Sunday.
Yeah, I think it was, tickets went on sale Saturday night or Sunday night, Monday morning, and it was sold out by lunchtime. So that just shows the hunger and the appetite for the fans to get behind and to actually be there. And I think you're spot on. If the full capacity was available, I think it would be sold out as well. So we're really looking forward to getting down there and getting going. And please God, we'll be in the final and come the start of November. It's
a unique place to host football matches, to play in football matches. What's it like to play there as a Bohs player when it's packed?
Unbelievable. I think that there's not many fans that would be noisier than Bohs fans throughout the year, so I can only imagine what it's going to be like in a cup semi-final. Like I said, the fans have been unbelievable when we've been beaten, so we're finally rewarding them with wins, and hopefully that continues Sunday.
Have you allowed yourself to dream of the Aviva yet, and the cup final suits, and just the build up to that weekend, which is the last weekend of the season? Last 3-4 seasons it's been Cork Dundalk, and I'm sure you guys in UCD are hopeful that it'll be the other two teams, or at least for yourselves, it'll be Bohs definitely.
Yeah, it's I think you can't escape thinking of the final, but knowing who you're playing in the semi-final just kind of brings you back down to earth, and knowing the quality of their coaching and the quality of their players, you can't get ahead of yourself. And I think we'd be foolish to think we're going in here as the favourites or anything like it. So form definitely plays into it, but a cup semi-final against last year's champions, you got to be going in there making sure you're prepared.
As a senior pro, do you get as excited about these type of games as you would have when you were younger?
Yeah, I think even more, because the older you get, the more you see the end, and the more you think, God, I want to win everything before I have to make a decision, or before a decision is made for me. So it's I'd be very, very excited. Yeah,
I'm sure weeks like this keep your hunger up, and seeing the younger boys as well chomping at the bit on the other night and in training probably maybe keeps you a bit younger.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Without a doubt. This week is going to be very interesting. I was only messing last night that you're going to have to wear elbow pads and shin pads and helmets and everything this week in training, because everyone's going to be really at it this week to try to get themselves in the starting 11 for Sunday.
Yeah, we're speaking on Tuesday evening. How will the week work? Because it's a Sunday game rather than a Friday game. It's live on TV. Of course, you guys played on Saturday, so you have a full kind of 8 days to roll into it. How will the cup semi-final week work as such?
I think we just prepare for it as normal. Lead it up to another game. You'll just have to adjust our training sessions to make sure that we get our loads right at the start of a week, and then coming towards the game. So that's all tailored by the staff, and they've been correct all season with what they've been doing. So there's no holding back, or there's nothing in our minds thinking anything differently.
Ian Morris, thanks a million. Best of luck.
Thanks, Jamie. Cheers.